Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I just want to say first and foremost, I miss all of your faces. I miss seeing the smiles in your eyes and the laughter that we share. Let us just begin to settle in for our yoga practice. I like to start, as you know, with a little bit of essential oil. Today, I'm using Balance by doTERRA. And I just like to apply that to the hand or the wrist, taking a whiff of it, finding a few words to describe how the scent appeals to me. And as we move into the practice, I like to start with that tall spine, square the shoulders back a little bit, and just settling into the moment by noticing any sounds that you can hear. Maybe you can hear traffic outside or your neighbors. We begin listening to the area inside your house, inside the room that you're in. And we're not allowing ourselves to get carried away with what we hear. We're just noticing and allowing that to be let go. And we move to listening to ourselves. Listen to your range of emotions in the last 24 hours. We're not passing judgment. We're just really taking an inventory. And then we check in with where we're at mentally. And then we come to the physical body. We're going to do a body scan. And the purpose for the body scan is just so that you can identify if there's any place that you're holding unnecessary tension, where you've got muscles clenched that you don't need to. Or perhaps you'll come across a part of the body that you're going to want to use with caution. And so let us start with the toes and the feet. Check in with the ankles and the lower legs. Take time to consider how your knees have been feeling today, how they've been moving. Check in with the strength of the thighs. Be mindful of how the hips have been behaving in the last 24 hours. Check in with the torso, the front and the back. The spine and the muscles that support it, the area of the belly and the chest. Think about how your arms have been feeling and moving, hands and fingers and thumbs, the wrists and the elbows. Check in with the shoulders. Think about how they've been moving, how they've been feeling. We move up to the area of the neck and then the head. Consider how the head has been feeling physically. And then we allow for the face to soften and become expressionless. No lines from worry. Release the tension from the temples. Allow the cheeks to be soft and pliable. Unclench the jaw. Taking a breath in nice and slow and exhaling it the same way. Check in with your posture. Notice the weight of your body in the chair. And take a moment to practice gratitude for your body. It may not be perfect, but it serves you well. I want you to remember that if you have a heart condition, or if you have glaucoma or another issue with the eyes or the eye pressure, you want to refrain from taking full forward folds. You'll want to keep the head above the heart. So anything that doesn't suit your practice, you can skip over that. And that also has to do with, if your shoulder is bugging you today. It's your body, it's your practice, and you can breathe through this whole thing. Sit and listen and just be mindful. That's the great thing about yoga. It's a forgiving and loving practice. It's about nurturing your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. So do what you can. Oh, excuse me. That was just I swallowed wrong. It's not COVID-19. All right, so tall spine, square shoulders, squeeze the core gently. And when we say squeeze the core, it starts from the pelvic floor. So imagine you're preparing for a sneeze, or you're stopping the flow of urination midstream, okay? Core starts with picking up the pelvic floor, and it moves up into the abdominal area, and we squeeze those gently. It's not like, full 100%. It's a gentle squeeze, about 25%, okay? And when we engage the core, it allows for the low back to release. Our body is designed to protect itself, and so when we use the core, it saves the low back. All right, spine long, shoulders square. We just start with breathing. Nice and simple. I want you to move that breath through you with intention. And what we're working towards as you're practicing this breath work is expanding the lungs and expanding the rib cage and taking advantage of all of the space that you have to take in the air. Your exhales are going to be nice and long and slow, calculated, like when you're blowing up a balloon. We don't blow all at once. It's a steady stream that actually makes the balloon expand. And so we pace ourselves as we exhale. Practicing Ujjayi breath, or ocean breathing, is good for us because it helps us to calm our nervous system. All right, and so when you're ready and you feel like you've taken your lungs to the fullest capacity possible, let's do 3 cleansing breaths. So those come in through the nose and out through the mouth, and we're sighing or we're making a blowing sound. Either one is good for your practice, whatever you like, okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Another one. All right, now I just want you to take a moment and I want you to move in a way that feels good in your body. All right. And after that, I want you to check in with your posture. And this includes the legs, okay? Knees and toes are going to point the same direction. The knees are going to be directly over the ankles. We're not doing anything like that where the leg is extended. We're not having it back too far. We're not doing things like this. We're actually correcting our skeletal alignment and just giving it a place where it feels proper. All right, we're going to square those shoulders back and keep the ears over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. Next, exhale. Just go ahead and drop the chin slowly towards the chest. We're moving in slow motion. And as you get to this pose, I want you to make sure the shoulder blades are squeezed behind you, core is engaged. And just notice the weight of the head. Keep breathing nice and slow. On your next exhale, keeping the nose and the chin pointed down, move the head towards the right shoulder. Push the left shoulder back a little bit so it doesn't travel with the head. Next, inhale, I want you to bring your head back to that center location, center of the chest. As you exhale, go ahead and move the head towards the left shoulder, pushing the right shoulder back a little bit. Notice what you feel between the ear and the shoulder. Next, inhale back to center. Movement of the shoulders, nice and gentle, just real easy. All right, check in with that posture, settle the shoulders, and then turn the neck so that the head would be looking over the right shoulder if your eyes were open. Breathe nice and slow. Next, inhale, come back to the center location, and with your exhale, go ahead and take a look over that left shoulder. Pushing the right one back, and just really paying attention to what you're feeling on the right side of the body. Back to neutral, and again, just some movement that feels good through the shoulders. All right, we're going to twist the neck again to look over the right shoulder. And this time I want you to open your eyes if you hadn't already. And then I want you to take a peek behind you, okay? Using your peripheral vision. And then looking up and back. Back to neutral, and then down and back. Just notice what you can see behind you. Pay attention to how this feels in the eyes. Bring the eyes back to neutral. Turn the head to neutral. And then as you exhale next time, go ahead and twist the neck to look over the left. And peripheral vision right in the center of your line of view. And then up and back. Back to neutral. Down and back. And then back to neutral with the vision, and back to neutral with the body. All right, cleansing breath here. All right, tall spine, square shoulders, and let's just now bring those shoulders up nice and high towards the ears. And then draw them slowly together behind you and down. Big shoulder rolls, moving in a way that feels good in your body. Remember, taking advantage of what your range of motion is. We inhale as we come up. Notice how it feels. Exhale, bringing the shoulder blades together behind you and then drawing them slowly down towards the hips. The breath is really important as you move through these poses and movements because we're bringing oxygen to the areas of sensation. Blood flow. Blood flow carries what we need to heal what ails us. So if you keep those shoulders frozen, keep moving through these nice and slow, following your breath. If you don't move the shoulder, the blood flow doesn't go there, so it can't correct what needs to be fixed. All right, coming to a still space, we'll stop for a moment, check in with your posture, and then let's just go ahead and inhale, swoop the arms up, extended mountain pose arms. And so when we come into this, I want you to drop the shoulders away from the ears and kind of rotate the elbow and the pinkies in a bit. And I want you to notice how it lights up right here in your body. This is being used, and the forearm actually gets some use too. And we expand the space between the fingers, and the core is engaged, of course. And we just take a breath. And then with your exhale, go ahead and bring those arms down side to side, noticing how that feels in your body. I want you to do 3 more of these. Inhale, bringing them up. Dropping the shoulders, rotating, taking a look maybe even at the fingertips. Exhale, bringing it down. And 2 more. Your body, your breath. Last one. All right, hesitate for a moment, take a cleansing breath, and notice how that movement felt in your body. All right, now we're going to bring the arms up a little bit differently. And I want you to sit nice and tall, square the shoulders. The thumbs are pointing out away from you. And on an inhale, fingers spread, bring those arms up. Settle into the rotation of the elbows and the fingers. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring that back down nice and slow in front of you. Okay? 3 more of those. Your body, your breath. Your inhales, you bring the arms up, extending the body, making space for the ribs to expand. And as you exhale, bringing them down nice and slow. Noticing how this feels through your shoulder girdle. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Taking a moment to shuffle the shoulders, move your body in a way that feels good to you, right? Yoga is all about movement. It's all about breath. It doesn't have to be all this perfect regimen. All right, so now we're going to work on some twists. And I want you to take that right hand, bring it out in front of you, and then bring that right hand over the left shoulder. Now we're going to take that left arm out and bring it over the right shoulder. Squeeze the core, tall spine. And as you exhale next time, take a twist to the right. Okay? Moving those elbows. And I want you to notice, what do you feel on the back side of the body? Into the side body. Back on an inhale. To the left, squeeze the core, twist from the hips up. The knees shouldn't move. Coming back to center. Taking a moment, dropping those arms, moving a little bit here and there, cleansing breath. All right. Square those shoulders, check in with the core, and as you exhale next time, take that twist to the right. Push the right shoulder back, squeeze the core, and take a look as far as you can behind you with your peripheral vision. Coming back to center on an inhale. As you exhale, taking that twist to the left now. Squeeze core, look behind you, see what there is to see. Come back on an inhale. Cleansing breath. All right, so let's lengthen through the spine, square those shoulders back, and leading with your nose, I want you to take a flat back forward fold over your lap, okay? Exhale, soften through the spine when it tells you to, and just take a moment to breathe here. It might be a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. Breathing is still a possibility, so even though we're uncomfortable, we can make it work. All right, we're going to squeeze the core, we're going to tuck the chin, we're going to move the spine up into the space where it should be. We're going to lengthen, we're going to move the shoulders over the hips, we're going to move the ears over the shoulders lastly. Let's do that 2 more times. Tall spine, square shoulders, push through the nose, lead with the nose. Maybe even take a moment and hesitate. Look at the space where the wall and the ceiling meet, and then soften through the body. Taking a round or 2 of breath here. And when we come out of it, squeeze the core, keep the chin tucked. This is all to protect the low back. Long spine, square shoulders, ears over shoulders. One more. Tall, long spine, flat back. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, and then when the body tells you to, soften over your lap. Taking time to breathe here. Coming out of it, we do the same thing, protect the low back. And we move slowly. Cleansing breath here. All right, let's just take a moment now for the hands. And I want you to flex them open. Wiggle the fingers individually. Notice what's happening in your hands. Maybe you've got some arthritis, or you've got an injury that's causing you trouble because of the weather. Whatever it is, just notice, okay? And then we're going to inhale, open the palms and the fingers. Exhale, close them. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale one last time. Exhale, close them up, clench them tight for a second, and then I just want you to shake them off a little bit. Bringing the hands back to a neutral space. Now we're going to move to the feet. And we're just going to move the feet in a way that feel good. We're circling the knees a little bit, we're circling the ankles, moving them in that non-ordinary way. Now, I like to take and put my toenails to the floor and lengthen the front side of the ankles. If you can do that, try it and hold it for a round or 2 of breath. If that isn't in your practice, you can try bringing the foot to the side and bringing the toenails on the top of the foot to the floor. All right. Notice how they feel. Notice how they move, right? Okay. tips of the toes, well, actually the balls of the feet to the floor, the ankles or the toes are actually underneath the knees now. And I want you to take a round of breath in and notice how those calves feel, right? Do they feel strong today? Do they feel crampy? Whatever it is, notice without judgment, okay? Feet firmly on the floor now. Let's move to the edge of the chair. And let's just lengthen through the spine and take in a big breath. With your exhale, let's go ahead and bring that right knee up. There's a flex in that ankle, so the foot is active. We lengthen through the heel, and then we go ahead and we cross that ankle, the right ankle, over the left thigh. It's important to check your skeletal alignment here, okay? So knee and ankle, knees and toes. There's a bend in this right ankle. And the spine is long, tall, and you might already be able to feel sensation in the back of the right hip. Okay? With your next exhale, I want you to squeeze the shoulder blades behind you, and I want you to push through with the chin and the nose, and the spine is long and it's flat, not curved yet, long and flat. Okay? Feel where that yumminess is and breathe into that space. Soften, let it go, be slow. Keep your core engaged, bring the spine, the shoulders, and then the head up. Okay, squeeze the shoulder blades, push that nose out, take a look at where the wall and the ceiling meet. Make sure your body's not swerving from the pain. All right, or the sensation, that's the right word. Make sure your body's not swerving from the sensation. All right, and soften. One more for this side. All right, if you have a lot of sensation through the knee, you don't want to put a whole lot of movement into this. You want to be slow and you want to be gentle. So you may not come clear forward like this. You might only come forward this much, and that's okay. All right, so we've finished the third hip opener for the right side. We're going to lengthen out that leg. Give it a little support. Push through the heel towards the wall away from you. Bring the toes towards your torso. Okay, take a little lift up with the leg and a little lean back. Feel all of that light up on the back side of the leg. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the ankle. Bring that down nice and slow. Whew. All right. Second side, same as the first. So, tall spine. Left knee comes towards you. You put a bend in that left ankle, bringing the toes towards the shin. Lengthen out that leg. Push through. Ooh, did you hear my knee? Push through the heel and then cross that over. Check for your skeletal alignment. Your body knows what you're going to do to it, so it might have already compensated for anticipating the yumminess. All right, so squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you. Push the chin out. Take a few rounds of breath here. Notice where the sensation is, right? So soften when you're ready. The sensation is indicative of needing blood flow. So if that's really yummy in your body, you might need a couple more of these when you're done with practice. Might need to make it part of your day. We're on number 2. Make it part of your daily awakening or going to sleep. So I always try to do a hip opener in our practice because we don't want the joint and the tissue that connects to get brittle, right? And if we don't bring blood flow, it's going to become brittle. And then the hip breaks, and then we fall. Okay, push through the heel, lengthen that leg out. Notice what the back side of the leg is telling you. Mine's telling me it's been a few days. And we wiggle the toes and the ankle and the foot as we bring it down. A nice cleansing breath. All right, let's lengthen out that right leg, back of the heel to the floor. We're on the edge of the chair, left foot out the same long legs, pushing the knees gently towards the floor, making sure that the shoulders are over the hips and that you're on the edge of the chair, okay? Toes come towards the torso and we're breathing. Go ahead and point the toes now, and then bring the big toes to touch. Bring those feet towards the torso. Separate the feet. Lengthening out, bringing them back. Pushing the backs of the knees towards the floor behind you. Okay, that wraps it up for the seated portion of our practice today. I just want you to take a moment and move in a way that feels good, right? Okay, now let's move to a standing portion, okay? Plant the feet, check for skeletal alignment, and let's just go ahead and come into our standing mountain pose, okay? Mountain pose, the hands are out side to side, the tailbone is tucked, the toes are lifted, and we squeeze those shoulder blades behind us. Next, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. If you need to, you can move to the space behind your chair for stability. Don't lean on it, just use it as a guide. Next, inhale, bring those arms up. Drop the shoulders. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, bring the arms up. Hands through heart center, finding the chair. All right, now a little bit of balancing. We're just going to find our good stance. We're going to stand up on those tippy toes. And I want you to just hold it there for a moment, okay? Now, maybe your tippy toes are just barely off of the floor. Maybe when you stand on your tippy toes, it's like you're wearing 5-inch stilettos. Whatever works in your body, okay? Coming down nice and gently, notice what's going on through the calves. And then let's inhale, bring those feet back up, lifting the heels as far as you can, bringing it back down. Okay, so let's do a little jolting. Now we come up onto the tippy toes and we come back down onto the feet. And there's a little bit of a jolt to it, as if you were jumping rope. Almost that amount of impact. Inhale is up, exhale is down. And this is supposed to be good for the vibrations within the body. Good for your organs. All right, good for the bones. Now, let's go ahead and bring the left fingertips to the chair. And as you inhale next time, bring the right arm up. Drop the shoulder away from the ear, squeeze the core, take a slight lean over to the left, and I want you to lengthen through the fingertips, and I want you to push the hip down so it doesn't follow. Open the armpit up towards the center of the room. Breathe into the side body. Exhale, bring it down. Notice how the arm and the shoulder feel. We'll do that with the left side. Inhaling up, drop the shoulder, squeeze the core, take a lean to the right, and imagine that you're between two panes of glass. So open up that armpit, breathe into the side body, And bring it down nice and slow on your exhale. Roll those shoulders. All right, moving if you need to bring the torso or the body towards the chair. Let's go ahead and bring the arms out side to side. The thumbs are pointing down. And I want you to bring the back side of the hands towards the back side of the torso. Tuck your tailbone if you need to. Lengthen through the spine and open the shoulders up on the front side, okay? Now, if it's in your practice, you can take a lean forward, flat back, and lift the arms up a little bit behind you, okay? Coming to a neutral space. Soften through the shoulders, keep the hands at the back side of the body. Inhale, move those shoulder blades together behind you, and we move slowly so we do no harm. Breathe in. Notice how that feels on the front side of the shoulders. Might feel a little yumminess. Soften through the shoulders. One last one. Inhale, lengthen spine, squeeze core, square shoulders back. And breathe. Soften on your exhale. Very good. Release the hands, roll the shoulders, move them in a way that feels good. All right, next we're going to bring the right hand to the chair. I want you to check the stance between your feet. They shouldn't be too close together and they shouldn't be too far apart. And we stack the body so the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, and the ears are all in a nice alignment. Squeeze the core. Inhale. I want you to use the chair if you need to. Bring that right knee up. Try to bring it to a space that brings your thigh parallel to the floor. Put a bend in your ankle so that if you stumble, your foot is ready to catch you. Okay? Bring that down nice and slow. A little march in place if you need it. All right, and I want you to try this 2 more times. Stance, stack, breath. Move the breath through the body. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Lift that right knee when you're ready. And if it's in your practice, you can bring the left arm up. Spread those fingers. Squeeze the core. Notice the strength of the left leg and then bring it down nice and slow. March in place if you need to shuffle the hips a little bit. Okay. Now remember, just because I can lift my knee clear up here doesn't mean that your body is capable of that. So you can put a flex in the foot and lift the heel. You can also do a kickstand. Okay. Your body, your practice, it's very important here. Okay. And we have moved into balancing for the 3rd time on the left leg. In my practice, I can lift both arms up, but you may be keeping that right arm to the chair, and that is perfectly fine, okay? We're going to march in place, bringing the knees up as high as you can, flexing at the ankle, okay? And then we're going to turn ourselves around, take a cleansing breath. Same thing as on the right side. We check in with the stance, the stack, the core, the shoulders. Left hand on the chair. We're moving the left leg now. Okay, just finding your balance and breathing. And maybe your balance isn't very good, but that's okay. We're working, we're practicing on letting the right leg get stronger. We'll bring that leg down and we'll do a little march in place if you need it. Okay? 2 more times, your body, your practice. Remember to move that left leg, left foot in a way that's good for you. And maybe you bring the right arm up. Maybe you bring the left arm up. Whatever's good in your body today, remember that. Bringing it down nice and slow. March in place. And one last balancing on the right leg now. Marching in place. Moving the body to face the chair now. And then let's just go ahead and take an L shape. I'm going to turn the chair sideways so that you can see what I'm up to. Okay, so inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, pivoting like we're bowing. It's a flat back forward fold. Soften through the knees. Bring the hands to the chair. Squeeze the core. Push the backs of the knees. Push the hips away from the torso. And just take a moment to breathe here. Really working with the legs and the core. Soften if you like. Inhale, bring that spine back to flat. Exhale, soften. Bend those knees. Squeeze the core, tuck the chin, and come on to an upright position. And then we're going to come to the front side of the chair. And I want you to allow the backs of the legs to touch. Okay? So I can feel the chair there, and I know that it's there waiting to catch me. Okay, so we take a mountain pose. Inhale, bring those arms up. Drop the shoulders, open the palms. Squeeze the core, bend the knees. Coming to a seated position as gracefully as possible. If you need to, you can put the hands on the thighs. You can put the hands on the chair. Come to seated gracefully. Take a cleansing breath. Take a moment to think about your practice. As we settle in for our Shavasana. Be aware of your breath. Take a moment to practice gratitude for whatever your heart desires today. Practice self-love. Saying to yourself, today I am perfectly imperfect, and that is okay. We'll bring our hands to heart center. The love and the light that dwells within me bows to the love and the light that dwells within each of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for allowing me to share my practice. Namaste.